helps you to really see clearly, where you are now. And then if you are aligned, and if you are, then that's good, but then you can grow on that. And if you're not, then it gives you an opportunity to, adjust and realign yourself and then plan for the future.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Pete Foldis with Plouton Life, chilling here with Sebastian Boyer, the approved guy, in the Dominican Republic at the Life 180 retreat. Coming at you, talking to you today about what we've just experienced these last few days. And so, Seb, thank you so much for being here with me. A pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
And really, I want to get down right away to understand these last few days. Are you the same person today that you were 5 days ago?
I would say I've grown in this time.
All right.
And how I've grown, I have solidified and become more confident in my purpose and who I am in my journey and exactly what it is that I've been called to do. I can confidently say that I am where I'm supposed to be with the people that I'm supposed to be with. And I'm really excited about being able to serve people at a higher level after having gone through, the work that we've been doing down here this week.
I love that. And just in case you missed it, I want to kind of go back to what you just said. In the right place at the right time with the right people, doing exactly what you're meant to be doing. I want to know how many of you out there listening to this right now have the opportunity to say exactly that today, last month, and last year in your lifetime. When has there been a time in your life where you've been so aligned with what it is you're doing that you can say that? I have the opportunity to be able to spend time with Seb, and Seb knows that that's something that I've been feeling in my heart for many months, ever since I met you at this last retreat back in September. And when I have experienced saying that, a lot of people kind of get thrown off by that. That's something they're kind of like, right place, right time, right people. I wish that was how I felt about my life. And really what we talk about all the time is going into transformation in your life and being able to continually evolve. And so, you said, hey, I feel like I've grown. The reality is, of course, at your core, you're the same person. But every moment we have an opportunity to grow, develop, and evolve. And so really, tell me a couple things that stand out to you in reflection about this last week of what you got out of it, what stands out of how you grew from a standpoint of any of the exercises, the modes we went through, maybe your value determination, how that hits you a little bit different.
Yeah.
What would you share about that?
One exercise that I think is like how we really kind of finished the work we did today, where we basically, or I think it was yesterday actually, where we kind of planned out the next 3 years of our life, or we kind of wrote a couple paragraphs in the past tense, but 3 years from now. That's what we did, right? Okay. So and you guys could do this for yourself. Where do you want to be in 3 years, right? And write it down exactly, what that looks like. Here's, feel, taste, touch, everything that you want to experience or that you'd like to see your life look like 3 years from now, but write it in the past tense. So, it was really cool because doing that, you start to not only see yourself living in that future, but because you're writing it from the past tense, it's almost like it's already happened. So you're literally bringing the future to reality. And I think that was super powerful.
And ultimately what I heard in all of that is that the clarity that you get on your own vision.
Yeah.
We all have these ideas that are, okay, well, that's where I want to be. That's where I want to get to. And an idea of what it takes to do it. Sometimes there's obstacles in our way of making that progress incrementally. But once you get there, what does that look like? And all too often what I find is people don't quite know what's possible for them once they get to that point. And so what Seb's describing is an opportunity to be able to say, okay, I've made it to that spot. I made it to the top of the mountain. But when the top of the mountain's in the clouds, you get there, you don't know what's beyond the clouds.
Yeah.
And so this exercise gives you an opportunity to kind of dig a little bit deeper and feel into that. Some might call it manifestation, affirmation. It doesn't really matter what you call it. Ultimately, what it is a guide to being able to live your best life.
Yeah.
And prior to that, one of the things that we did was a values determination.
Yeah.
And ultimately, you can do your 3-year outlook, but if you have a confusion or a misalignment of what your values truly are, it's going to be really difficult, in my opinion. I'd like to hear from you.
Yeah.
If you aren't sure about what your values truly are, how you're going to actually be able to say, this opportunity, this next step is actually incongruent and misaligned with that future that I envisioned for myself.
Right.
Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. So, if you heard what I said, it was literally the last thing that we did, right? At the end of the exercise. So we kind of ended there, but where we started was really going through a process of step-by-step understanding and identifying what our values were, what our beliefs were about various topics, including family, faith, fitness, finance, all of these things, and really looking closely at where are we now and what do we really believe about these topics. And so by doing that, it helps you to really see clearly, where you are now, and then if you are aligned, and if you are, then that's good, but then you can grow on that. And if you're not, then it gives you an opportunity to adjust and realign yourself, and then plan for the future. So that is the process of the work that we're doing, and that's also the process of the work that we are learning to do with our clients, is to help you go through this process so that you can you yourself get aligned with your values and your beliefs before we start talking about where you're going to store your money or invest your money or retirement or any of those things. If you don't have a sound knowledge and awareness of who you are, where you stand, what you believe in, then how can we move forward from there? So yeah, that's the foundation and the groundwork that we started with.
And what's really present to me in listening to what you just shared is, faith, family, freedom, finances. These are all things that are common to most people. Maybe not everybody has kids. Maybe not everybody is devoutly religious. Ultimately, there may be a faith in place. But values are like fingerprints. No two people's values are the same. There are things that overlap. There are things that are common for us, which is why we bond and why we have friendship. But values are as unique as your fingerprint. And so when you go through life thinking, hey, these are my 3 highest values, faith, family, fitness as an example, the reality is there's something missing. And the reason why I would hypothesize you may feel out of alignment is because you're living into external values. Things you think are what you're supposed to say, do, or believe, and not quite what's being demonstrated in your life. So really, values boil down to the things that are demonstrated in your life, what you're putting out there. And if what you're currently doing doesn't align with your values, that's an opportunity for us to be able to see what's high priority, what's low priority, and be able to put those into a hierarchy, elevate the things that are higher but not quite demonstrated, and decrease or put down the things that you are demonstrating that you really don't want space for anymore. So, yep. Seb, anything you want to add to our audience? If they want to be able to get a hold of you, be able to work with you, what it is, a little bit about what your practice represents, and how you go about it, business.
So yeah, I appreciated that. So yeah, I mean, you can check me out at my channels, at the Approved Guy. I'm interviewing Pete. We'll have his interview on my channel, so you can check him out and kind of how that conversation went. Working with me is real simple. We start with a free consultation. We just kind of see if we have a good connection. Like, do we actually like each other, right? And then from there, we'll dive in deeper into really identifying what are your values, what are your beliefs. We go through a process, and with that's going to uncover, areas that we can really dive into and investigate for us to improve on and work together on, whether it be faith, whether it be fitness, finance, whether it be family dynamics, or ultimately freedom. These are the areas. Ultimately, they overlap and come together, where you may be weaker in one and stronger in the other. The goal is to increase and strengthen you where you're weaker, and where you're strong, strengthen that as well. But we want to be well balanced, and we have to start with that values and beliefs, and growing from there. Ultimately, my vision and purpose is to help folks to leave a legacy for their children and their children's children. But that starts with you understanding where you are, what are your values, and where do you want to go? What do you want to accomplish in this life? All right, because it's not all about your legacy. Is not just the money you leave behind, but it's what you teach. It's the menu or the recipes that you leave your family, that are your family secrets, right? It's the memories that you created when you went on that vacation, or when you just spend time together. Life is more than just money, and legacy is more than just that trust account. That's going to be a part of it, but we want to create a legacy that is not just only about finances, and it's going to be a well-grounded, well-rounded, fulfilled legacy. So you could end your life in a place where you know that you're fulfilled, and you're not lacking or empty or regretting how you spent that time that you had on earth, because it is limited. It's a limited time that we have. So we do have to hopefully urgently try to make the most out of every moment, opportunity that we have to love each other and to help each other out on this journey.
Absolutely. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. And all you Ploutonians out there now know why I vibe with Seb so much. You were able to hear a lot of the things that overlap in our worlds, and why your friendship means so much, man. So thanks for spending some time with me, brother.
Thank you, bro.
And y'all like and subscribe below. Link to schedule a session with Seb or myself will be in the area below. Go ahead and tap into that if that will be a good value to you. Otherwise, we look forward to seeing you next time.